This is a void function. It's called get temperature. Now, what is different about get temperature versus one of the functions I've done, like, let's say that I want to convert temperature or something like that. Why do you think I have an ampersand on get temperature? Any ideas? Why that might be different?
It's like a reference parameter.
Okay, that is exactly right. This guy right here is a way that we specify that a variable is passed by reference. So we have two methods of passing, or let me explain the two. We have two methods of passing arguments. Okay. The default method for passing arguments in C++ is what we call pass by value. So if you don't do anything, everything is passed by value. Okay? What pass by value means is, now this is why I wanted you to go with the formal and the actual. Pass by value means, and I'm going to write this down, that the formal argument, no, I said that wrong. Actual argument is copied into the formal. So if I write a function, let me get the compiler here. If I write a function much simpler than this. Called, oh wow, it's a big guy. All right, so if I write a function called, let's say, print, what was the one I just did? What's the one I just tried? All right. Oh, get. I did get. Okay, so let's say that I write a function called print dimension. And I'm going to pass it length and width. So that means that here's print dimension. So now let's spell it right. I think this is one of your homework problems. And I'm just going to print the length, I'm going to say, yeah, I will. Okay, so what are these guys called again? I forget. What are these guys called? Those are called the formal arguments, okay? So I wrote a function called print dimensions, and I'm going to pass it the actual arguments, which let's just say I assign. This is kind of dumb, right? I need to prototype this guy, and I need to include everything at the top, right? Oh, I need to get the issues. Window. What did I do wrong? Set it extra. Okay, so this is just to
simple. So what happens in this case, and I'm going to draw a picture for you just so you see, because we're about to mix this up. When I have print dimension 1 to length, and my print length afterwards, what do you think my output's going to be? All right, so if I asked you this question on a quiz, before I write this, what is the output for this problem?
Why do you have length is 1 plus 1 plus?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't need to do that.
and isn't length supposed to be W instead of L?
I changed it purposely so that you saw that I could have different names. I could do length and width, but I can name these guys whatever so long as they're declared in here. I'm purposely doing that, okay? All right, L and W are local to what? L and W are local to what? Me, okay? So they're only known in name. All's print dimensions once is 2 integers. I can call them, Tom and Joe, doesn't matter. It takes the first guy that you pass it and puts it into length, copies it into length. The second guy you pass it and copies it into width. All right, so what's going to be the output? If I pass this 5 and 7, let's do this. Let's put this guy up here. So I'm going to print length and width. And then I'm going to copy. So what am I going to get for the first chip? What am I going to get here? If I send it a 5 and a 7, what is length and width going to be here? Okay, and then what is length going to change to here? What is length in L and W going to be here? Okay, so this is the important part, okay? So this guy's going to print 5 and 7 when I first get here. When I increment length, where am I going to increment? Just here, right? So this guy will be 6. Does L change? No, because this guy was passed by value, which means the actual argument was copied to the formal argument. Are you with me? Okay? Let's say, let me run it just so you believe me. So it incremented length inside the function, but when I got back up, it's still 5 and 7. Does everybody understand that? Now, if I do want it to change, and I use this, we have to do it both places or it won't work. I want to show you the difference of what happens if you change something to, so this guy originally was passed by value. So pass by value, don't forget, pass by value means that the actual arguments were copied into the form. Okay? And that's the default method. You do nothing, everything's passed by value. Let's look at pass by reference. I want you to remember that reference means address. So watch the difference. When you pass something by reference, this guy, ready? The formal argument gets the address of the actual argument. And this guy is also passed by reference, okay? So when I first get here and print out length and width, obviously they're 5 and 7. When I increment length,
which length am I going to increment? The guy I have the address for. So I change it there. Kind of like, I know where you live, right? So since the actual formal argument knows where the formal argument lives, I said it wrong. Since the formal argument knows where the actual argument lives, it can change it. Okay? With the address, you have the location and you can change it. All right? So if I now print, what do you think I'm going to get?
What's my first output going to be? First, it's going to print what? 5 and 7. What's it going to print here? 6. And when I get back up here, what are A and W going to be? 6 and 7. Who's confused?
I have a question.
Yeah.
When would you know to use?
Okay, that's a very good question. Okay,